I'm okay so far. I haven't screwed up. You know. Okay, yeah. All right, so anyway, I can do something like this. I can say, okay, well, my line is that long. I'm all right so far. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to start off by drawing one of my square sides first. And I think I'll start off by drawing this one at a fairly shallow angle, say something like this. Now, I'm drawing a little bit light right now. Oh, you know, actually, let me change that. Let me just start it over. I just realized I want to show you more. It's going to get in the way. Okay, so I've got my line, and I'm going to start at a fairly shallow angle. So something like that. Now at this point, I have that first decision. I've got to judge where my square is. You know, so I'm going to look at this and I'm going to say, okay, well, like that feels too narrow. That feels too deep. Okay, so I'll go about with that. All right, so that's my square. Now once I have a square and I kind of trust it, what I want you to think of is think of it as extruding into another dimension. So it's just like Maya or SketchUp or any of those things if you've used it. You've got the square plane and then you extrude it in this direction towards a vanishing point, and it might look like this. Now here's the thing that I'm going to tell you to do differently than the way you probably do it. Most people would go like this. They would draw this line and then draw this line. I would not do that, because then you're going to focus on that side. What I would do is I would do this. First of all, I need to judge, I need to imagine that horizontal line right here, and imagine a reciprocal angle. So I'm going to imagine a reciprocal angle, something like that. They're fairly even on both sides. So if I'm going to draw this line first, but then instead of drawing this one, I'm going to draw this one. Why would I draw this one? Because if I draw this line here, these are the extremes. You see what I mean? All these lines coming from these other 2 points are going to be in between these, and I can judge them. You see what I mean? It keeps you corralled. It keeps you bracketed. Yeah, and so I think you're going to have a much better drawing. The other thing I'm being mindful of is, look at this. Look at the rate of convergence here and the rate of convergence here, and you see that they're close to the same level. They're not going wildly off this way and this way, which would cause multiple eye levels. So you have to be mindful of that. But now that I've got 2 lines, I'm going to split the difference in between. So do you see how they all feel like they're converging? One of the things that I've never seen this in a perspective book, but I would encourage you to do this. When you're drawing these cubes, try to think of the cubes not as 6 sides, not as 6 squares, not as individual lines. Try to think of them as 3 sets of 4 lines. So you've got 1, 2,